So what is the real reason Nintendo is creating a brand new first-party in-house accessory for the Nintendo Switch that fans have wanted for a long time, so late into the console's life cycle, well after 7.5 years of it being sold and available on the market by time this thing launches? It is raising a lot of questions online, and some interesting theories are popping up around it, and that's where I want to deep dive this conversation and tie it back to some of the information we know to expect to be revealed to us about the upcoming successor console to the Nintendo Switch, which definitely seems like the plausible theory behind why Nintendo is choosing to launch this particular product now. So we'll get on the same page with all of that. Before we do, make sure you like, subscribe, and turn on your bell notification to join Sunbro Nation if you're new here. And in case you missed it, we recently got the announcement that Nintendo around the world, at first it was thought maybe it's only Japan, then Europe got confirmed as well, now Nintendo of America too at the time of filming this. So literally worldwide release, you have the following post from Nintendo of America, which reads, Joy-Con charging stand, two-way, a device dedicated to charging Joy-Con controllers as well as Nintendo Entertainment System controllers for Nintendo Switch is releasing on October 17th. And as you go through and look at some of the images of this device, this is something that's going to allow you to charge your Joy-Cons or your NES Classic controllers away from the Switch console, which is convenient if you just need to charge a backup set of Joy-Cons because you technically need to charge them on the console. And if you're playing with one set of Joy-Cons or you're playing in handheld mode and you want to be able to charge some additional Joy-Cons at the same time, this is a great way to do that. And obviously there are plenty of third-party options that do this today. So why is Nintendo just all of a sudden deciding to drop this product and bring it to market from their first-party in-house perspective? And that is where a lot of interesting theories are popping up around online, suggesting that this may be tied directly to what we know about Nintendo Switch 2 so far. And while nothing's confirmed from Nintendo, and you always have to remember that everything needs to be taken with a grain of salt until Nintendo does officially confirm it, we only know to expect the announcement of the Switch successor officially from Nintendo in this fiscal year, aka by March 2025, no later than that. We have had at this point multiple credible accessory manufacturers that create accessories for the Nintendo Switch console today leak some interesting details about the Switch 2, not to mention credible names like Nate the Hate, Bloomberg, and many others reporting that the size of the Switch is going to be changing this time around with the next gen successor, and the belief is it's going to be an 8-inch LCD with a slightly bigger footprint. It's been compared to things like the ROG Ally online, and while we don't know an exact footprint for the device, it's somewhere between a Switch and a ROG Ally that we have today. And logically, just if it's a bigger footprint alone, that would mean we probably need some kind of solution to charge Joy-Cons if they are forwards compatible with the next console. And then you have the accessory manufacturers, which really have more of the information on why this would be a necessary product, which is that there is going to be a magnetic Joy-Con attachment this time around, whereas opposed to the traditional rail system slide on with that plastic button behind to lock or unlock, this time around there's claimed to be some kind of mag switch feature in there where the Joy-Cons can be locked in tightly with the magnetic switch, or they can be released for you to be able to comfortably pull them off of your Switch. Maybe there is a rail system involved still to kind of help hold it in the right place, but they are largely connected from magnets this time around, which would lead you to believe, yes, the current Joy-Cons we have are not going to be compatible with the Switch 2 console, aka there's not an easy way to charge your Joy-Cons or your NES Classic controllers after this console launches. There's also claims that, of course, that the Pro controller and the Joy-Cons will be compatible with the next console, but from a Bluetooth wireless perspective, not from an actual tethered to the console perspective like we have with the Switch right now. And that is the general idea of why Nintendo's bringing this product to market. Now, could it just be Nintendo's marketing team finally sitting down and realizing that third-party manufacturers are making a lot off of external charging devices for Joy-Con? Like, yes, that is a realistic possibility, but I definitely think that Nintendo's not stupid and they're releasing a product ahead of time that will be on store shelves late into the life cycle of the current Switch, but is already the solution for the very obvious problem that pops up when we buy that new successor console and realize, wait a minute, what do I need to do to charge my Joy-Cons, especially if I've done something like sold my Switch in order to get the new one, or maybe you traded it in at GameStop. Well, now I don't have an easy solution to charge these things, and Nintendo's going to want to solve for that problem, and I'm sure they're going to do plenty to market and justify an upgrade to a brand new controller on the new console for you. But I am very happy with the internal reports that suggest that the Pro controllers and Joy-Con should be playable on the next gen console, because even if it's just from a wireless perspective and not all the features are intact for their next gen games on these controllers, for games that you're going to be playing most likely via backwards compatibility like Super Smash Bros, Mario Party. I mean, we're getting Super Mario Party Jamboree released really late into this Switch's life cycle. You might want to pop that into your next gen console and play it with friends, and you're going to want to have plenty of controllers day one and not have to go buy a whole round of new controllers just to be able to play multiplayer games locally on the next console. And that's where a product like this comes in and makes a lot of sense. Now, what will be interesting this time around is whether or not Nintendo develops a next-gen version of this accessory stand that they're marketing to us so late in the Switch's life cycle, and actually have an easy way to charge their next-gen Joy-Con. I'm hopeful that they do, but considering the functionality of this product, we'll have to see what the price point is. I don't believe that's been revealed anywhere yet online, but a nice little stand you get. It looks a little clunky with the power cable plugging in from the top, but then again, if you're wanting to charge and play at the same time, that really is probably the ideal place to put it. And this is going to be nice for allowing you to play with two different Joy-Cons side by side, like that controller type of contraption they released before that you couldn't charge the Joy-Con on, but it was just there essentially for a grip for you to hold on to like a traditional controller. Like, now you're going to have the option to just have them in more of a flat, straightforward way. You're going to be able to grip both Joy-Con and have them charging at the same time, or on the stand for a visually nicer looking setup. And, you know, just a quick honorable mention, because we are talking about this with the NES controllers, Nintendo's running a 20% sale off on those. I took a second look at them. I didn't end up picking up the NES controllers back in the day. They are now $47.99, at least in the US or in the North American region of the world, and these are ones we don't normally see go on sale, so it might be a good time to pick them up. 47 instead of 60 is nice, and you do get two of them as opposed to just one like you typically do. And of course, this is probably clever timing from Nintendo, because they know they just released Nintendo World Championship NES Edition, and I'm sure it's no coincidence that they're marketing these NES controllers as being chargeable, likely for the next gen Switch, and you're expecting NSO to be forward compatible. I am as well. I mean, Nintendo account value-added services have been confirmed by Nintendo themselves. NSO is one of those value-added services, so they're telling you you can charge these things on the next-gen console, and in the meantime, you can use them to play through some Nintendo World Championship NES Edition if you pick up that game. So let me know in the comments down below if you think that the real reason for Nintendo bringing this accessory to market so late in the life cycle of the Nintendo Switch does indeed have to do with them shifting some puzzle pieces into place for Switch 2, or do you think this is a coincidence and Nintendo just sat around and realized they're losing some money that's easily available to them by not having something like this available, when maybe third-party charging accessories that do this are making notable amounts of money off of it? And are you excited for the reports of an 8-inch display, a bigger footprint for the Switch next gen console, and even things like magnetic Joy-Cons? Or are you a little bit nervous to have the form factor change of the current Switch that we know and love today? So make sure you share all your thoughts and feelings in the comments down below before you leave, regardless if we agree or disagree. Also, make sure you like, subscribe, turn your notification bell. And with that, I've been Sunbro, you've been Nation. Thanks so much for watching, and I'll see you guys in the next video.